Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. Texas Tech is playing Houston tonight. I want to go over some college basketball that happened over the weekend, and then I want to give you guys an update on a couple things with the company. So, start with Texas Tech and Houston. I really like the Red Raiders, minus a point and a half. I love Texas Tech. Houston is a defensive juggernaut. They play fantastic defense. They battled Iowa State on Saturday. Iowa State didn't have two of their best players, and the only reason why Houston is able to win that game is because LJ Cryer was making just incredible shots for them. Their point guard, their everything guard, their offense really leaves a lot to be desired, and they don't have it. In years past, they've had a couple of different guards that can really create their own shot. This year, it's really Cryer or bust, and Texas Tech beat them at Houston on one of the most egregious calls of the year. They threw out the best player on Texas Tech. Frankly, they have a lot of good players, but they threw out their one of their leading scorers after he was making a pass, and they said he waved his foot up in the air. It was an unbelievable call. The coach gets ejected after that, and they still go on to win that game. I just think they match up really well with Houston. They got this freshman Christian Anderson who he's from the Atlanta area, really long defender. They're going to be able to give Cryer problems. I like Texas Tech tonight. The Red Raiders. That game's at 9. If you're up, I encourage you to watch that. So, a couple things from the weekend. One, starting with the bet I got lucky with the Washington Iowa game. The game went over. Another example of better be lucky than good, I guess, when you're betting on sports. These games are really wild here in college basketball. A lot can happen and go on runs. It's really hard. A lot of volatility. So I feel lucky about that one. There's just a bunch of threes and free throws at the end of the game, like the stuff you need for it to go over. Washington kept making threes, kept fouling. Iowa, all they do is make free throws. So that helped. Oregon beat Wisconsin in a great game. I had Oregon. I thought they could win that game. And then after the first 25, 27 minutes of that game, it felt like Oregon had no chance. Maybe they could cover. And then they go on a run. They are down three, hit a three basically to send it to overtime right before Wisconsin did have a shot at it. But essentially, um, Oregon hits that game tying three and forces overtime. And then they just beat them outright in overtime in Wisconsin. So great win for them. I was on the right side of that. Texas A&M couldn't beat Tennessee. I still would bet A&M again in that spot. They just couldn't make a shot, and Tennessee made really high percentage three-pointers. Still, the game was a 50-50 game towards the end, and then A&M loses. I keep getting on the wrong side of A&M. Bothers me. I'm trying to be perfect, picking their spots instead of just taking them more often. And when I do, it's the wrong time. So that was annoying. St. John's yesterday, incredible shot making in the first half. UConn blitzed them, and then St. John's responded with like just a couple punches right to the face, like just haymakers, big dunks, great shot making. The guard ended up playing Lewis, RJ Lewis, who's really good. I didn't think he was going to play or at least be hampered. He wasn't. Then UConn made a run on the second half and just St. John's answered. I really came away from that game though thinking UConn's going to still be okay. I would pick them to make a run to the Sweet 16, depending on the matchups. I could see them going further, but I wouldn't write UConn off. Alabama beat, excuse me, Alabama beat Kentucky pretty handedly. Kentucky's just running out of gas, a lot of injuries. Arizona loses again to BYU. Arizona, they're not a championship team. I would take them to be upset early. Then their fans are jackasses. I like BYU. I should have taken BYU, but I didn't. And then the other game that jumped out before I want to get to a couple things with the company is Duke, Illinois. I mean, Maryland beat Illinois 91-71, I think it was, at Illinois. It was a great game. Kind of sparked this confidence Maryland has. Duke just demolished Illinois 110-67 uh, at the Garden. Like, yeah, it was a pro Duke crowd, but still 110-67. Holy go! I mean, I didn't see a lot of the game, but 110-67. Like, geez whiz. So I'm glad Maryland beat up on Illinois, but this might be more a reflection on Illinois. Duke, great team. Auburn, they beat Georgia. Auburn, though, is just sloppy. There's volatility to Auburn's game, whereas Duke just seems smooth. I feel like Duke's going to be hard to stop, hard to bet against. Duke rolls, good win for them. Illinois is pretty much finished. And, the Washington Iowa game kind of leads to what I want to talk about with the company because there's just two things basically going on in my mind. The first is my passion for sports betting. Am I is just like dissipated here because I can't bet significant money on sports. I just I used to bet a lot of money, and now I kind of restarted over the past year once I've rebranded the company, giving it another shot as far as significant money betting every day, thinking if it's the right thing, if I can, if I spend a lot of time on it, and it's just too much volatility. There's too many times where, and this Washington Iowa game is a perfect example, where what the outcome of the game doesn't feel like a reflection of my intelligence, and there's just so much volatility, so many variables, so many transfers, just motivations for players are it's hard to figure out, and a lot of that is what I base my decision making on. And yeah, you get lucky sometimes and that's great. You get unlucky sometimes. So even when I nailed the Michigan State Purdue game, which by the way, Purdue got demolished by Indiana. That was a weird second half, but I get that game, basically 100% right, and does it make me feel like I know more than when UConn gets blown out by St. John's yesterday, and I really liked UConn. So that's the first thing, and then the second thing is it's been a journey over the past year, looking frankly for people that would be a good fit for the company, and I don't really see eye to eye with anybody that's in this industry at all that wants to give out sports betting picks, because the main issue always becomes me not wanting to be part of the upsell process. Like that's just not an option for me anymore to to upsell the picks, to have private picks, to have picks behind the paywall, like whatever the price is, it is. And the people that want to, it, it what I don't want to impugn anybody's character, but because whatever if they're listening, but a lot of the people that I've interviewed and tried to potentially collaborate with have an opinion that doesn't back up facts, right? And if you're winning at the rate that they're claiming to win at, um, I need to see paperwork, as they say. Like I need to see it. I got to see it. And so I think that people that want to do math to excel at sports betting, and that's their logic behind it, there's just too many flaws because of the volatility. There's not enough data to do it. There's too many variables. So I haven't really found anybody I feel comfortable expanding with, and that's why I gravitated towards a couple of guys that are passionate about sports and have good opinions, and I enjoy talking to. And I wanted to have other people besides just myself. But as I debate on how I'm expanding the company as I come up on a year here, I really appreciate everybody that's stuck with me. And what I'm going to commit to is just being honest and giving out games if I like the game. And if I feel confident about it, then I'll give it out. I want to commit to content and commit to certain different things as I move forward, but I don't want to commit to just giving out games to give out games. I don't think that helps anybody. And at the end of the day, I created the company to help people. That was the whole point of it. If it settles into, a different direction, or, whatever happens is I don't want to say I just is meant to happen because I'm the one that's going to make it happen. But I do believe in, trying your best, and what's meant to happen, frankly, is meant to happen. So I just have to do the best I can, and I got to be honest. And it's hard to expand the company without selling sports betting picks. So that's nobody's problem, frankly. I just wanted to let everybody know a little bit into my thought process and what to expect moving forward. I'll give out games if I like games, but outside of that, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to force anything. So thank you guys for your support. I appreciate everybody that's still subscribing and still listening. And yeah, look forward to hopefully helping everybody make some money and filling out their bracket here down the stretch. I do like Texas Tech tonight, though. Home spot. Houston just doesn't move the ball enough and be a tough environment for them. So I like the Red Raiders. Enjoy your afternoon. And again, thank you guys. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, if I can help, I stopped saying it because I figured at this point everybody reached out that wanted to reach out. But yeah, if I can help you at all, please reach out and go over your betting process and different thoughts. Maybe you found something that works for you, or you want my feedback on something. I'm here for it. So, all right, have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the morning.